It happened again. Just last week, a couple of neo brokers up again after one neo broker lost about 20,000 customer data just last year. And every time that happens, it seems like you're asking me for help on social media. So let's take one step back, see what happened, so everybody understands what has been going on. We're talking about GameStop, a company that has traditional brick and mortar stores where you can buy games. Obviously, as with every offline brick and mortar store, sales have been declining because more and more customers are buying online. Accelerated, of course, because of the pandemic. This triggered big hedge funds with big pockets to short the company, basically betting on falling stock prices. Suddenly, in the second half of last year, GameStop had a series of really good news that nobody expected. Online sales jumped, new strategic partnerships with Microsoft, for example. And that's when users on Reddit, great site by the way, shout out to all fellow Redditors, they discovered that big hedge funds with big pockets invested billions of dollars on falling prices. More money than ever before. And the idea was that these really good news that nobody expected will lead to rising stock prices, which will lead eventually to these big hedge funds needing to sell their short positions. That's what we call short squeeze. And we've seen this unfolding in front of our eyes just last week. The fight between a lot of small investors who became one massive force, all want to make a profit, versus these big hedge funds who might go bankrupt if the stock continues to rise. And it developed into this crazy game of chicken who sells first, because these arrogant Wall Street guys completely underestimated the people like you and me who are not billionaires. Yet. But the people, the small investors, with just a couple of $100 were showing these billionaires who's in charge now. Power to the people. And this little fight between the small investors and the big hedge fund guys with big pockets affects you, whether you like it or not. How? Some of the brokers were disabling the buy button last week for stocks like GameStop, BlackBerry, Nokia, and others. So only selling was allowed and not buying anymore. And what happened? Of course, the price plummets. And this eliminated the free market, this absolutely beautiful place where you have the freedom to buy whatever you want to buy. And the question that we've gotten multiple times from you, is this market manipulation to interfere with the free market? Maybe. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a guy like every one of you out there. And I want the stock market back to the people. This is the beautiful place where we're all equal. €1 is €1. The stock market doesn't care where it comes from. So we just democratized it, and now you want to shut us down again? In my personal opinion, these neo-brokers are acting very hypocritical here, because they incentivize you to buy options and derivatives and to work on leverage, and losing money has always been fine for them, right? Because they're making money from you trading. But in this case, they shut us down in order to protect us. Another question was if you can sue your broker now. Now, I'm not a lawyer, I'm also not a tax advisor, but if you want to change your broker, go ahead. If you want to sue your broker, go ahead. I just see the same thing here happening over and over again that we just seen a couple of weeks ago with Wirecard. If it works out and you make a nice gain, you're happy, of course. If it doesn't work out, for whatever reason, and you're losing money, you're always looking for somebody to blame and looking for somebody to sue. And I don't like this attitude. Investing means risk, and if you don't like risk, then maybe a bank account is better for you. To me, this goes much deeper than that, and we will see over the next weeks, months, and possibly years big questions answered. The one question that came up over and over again over the last couple of days is short selling allowed, yes or no? And the second question that I saw, who is to blame? The guy who's posting on Reddit or somewhere else? Well, he's just giving his free opinion, right? Is Reddit responsible for that because they allow him to post his free opinion? Or is everyone to blame who's following his advice? Which I think will be very difficult because it's a free collective choice. Now, what can we learn from this? First, stay invested over a long period of time and don't gamble with your money trying to make any short-term gains. It almost always doesn't work. Second, beware of who you trust with your personal finances. I get it, these startups and these fintechs, they're super cool, I understand. But if a company has a shitty product and just good marketing, like one of the health insurances that is advertising big time in the expat community, be aware of that. That's my 2 cents on it. Hopefully everybody who sent us a message likes the way that I answered. Stay healthy, everybody.